Yo, what up, guys? Beside here to talk about the new Fusion calendar that just dropped into the game. If you do not know what I'm talking about, if you head over to your Fragment Fusions, you see a new champion that is now obtainable for free if you do all the events and tournaments that will be part of this fusion. You get fragments from this events and tournaments, 5, 5, 10, 15, or even 20 in some, and then finally get up to 100, and then you'll be able to get this champion like we did for Supreme Elhain or so. So that's how this event is going to go. It's one of those ones where you can save even after getting 100 of this fragment. You don't need to summon the champion instantly. You can save her until there's a champion chase in the future. So whether you want to go for this champion, whether you're still debating whether she's a good champion to go for or she's a total trash, that will be your decision to decide whether you want to save all your resources to skip out on all these events to obtain her, or if you think she's worth going for, go ahead. I'm not going to debate that in this video. I want to just share you the fusion plan and talk about how we're going to go about achieving her on this account. There are two ways you can go about this fusion, like every other fragment fusion out there that has a summon rush and a champion chase and a bunch of other dungeon events and tournaments. So the first way to go about it, that I always go about it this way, is to look for something I can skip out on. So we all know that the only resource that is kind of scarce for free-to-play players to obtain in this game is shards. And if you do not own enough ancient shards, sacred shards, and void shards like this, you will not be able to complete fusions in raid. You might be able to do the dungeons at level 20, even level 13 or 15. You might be able to do all that champion training, artifact enhancement, save enough silver to get all that done. But if you don't have ancient shard, void shard, and sacred shard, you will not be able to complete the two summoning events that is part of this fusion. Yes, we have a champion chase and a summon rush in this fusion, and those two will give you the highest number of fragments that you need to obtain this champion. The first one that is coming up on Friday, like every weekend, we have a summoning event, and it's going to be a summon rush right there. So if you can see my circle right here, the summon rush. So that's summon rush will have 20 fragments, and my first approach to doing fusions is, if that summon rush falls with a 10x, I will skip it. Why? Because 10x events are scams, and we usually want to pull our shards, especially as free to play, during a 2x event. So the champion chase over here will fall, champion chase tournament right here will fall on a 2x. I think that will be a 2x on an ancient shard, right? So that will be the one I'll be going crazy for, pulling all my shards on this champion chase. So this weekend during the summon rush, I'm gonna be skipping out on it entirely. So that's the first approach I plan to go about it, by skipping out on summon rush entirely. I'll mark it a red X, not even trying to get one fragment from here. Totally save all my shards that I need on my account, and just finish champion chase. Champion chase is easier to do because you can even use saved up fragments to complete champion chase. What am I talking about? If you head over to your game again and see your summon, I do have some champions I can easily use to complete champion chase. It's easier to do. So that's why I'll be skipping out on summon rush. Another reason why I'm skipping out on summon rush is because I do have a lot of ancient shards right here, right? And I'm waiting for a 2x on ancients. I've been waiting for that. So once we hit that 500 mark, this weekend being the 19th, well, this not this weekend, next weekend when the 2x ancients launches, I'll be pulling an entire 500 ancient shard live on Twitch. So make sure you subscribe to see when that happens. That's another reason why I'm skipping out on that summon rush. So I want to save everything towards that. I know I could use sacred shards to do this summon rush. I know I could use sacred shards or some void to complete it. It may be 8. I can even use some mystery shards and these sacred shards to do it. But I want to save these sacred shards maybe by the time a next guaranteed legendary event comes up, or say pull 20 secrets and get one legendary. I'm trying to get up to 20 secret shards again. So that's why I don't want to pull those 7 that I have right here. Yes, 7 secrets that I have right there. I want to save them for that next event. So that's my fusion plan, the first one, the first approach that I'll be doing. Now for the second approach, for other players who are not keen on winning one extra tournament, because this first fusion plan that I just told you requires me to get an extra 5 or 5 over in classic arena, or 5 over, just 1 5 extra fragment. It requires me to win one least 5 extra fragments, because I'll be at 95 if I skip out on summon rush. So with that 95, it's always easier for me to win classic arena, because I use gems to refresh and 5 win a lot of battles and get that extra 5 fragments. That's the way I always approach it. Now the smarter way for those players who don't want to make that mistake of trying to win tournaments, the smarter way is for you to go hard on summon rush, right? If you go hard on summon rush right here, that's the second method, summon rush, and totally skip out on champion chase. Now you see that champion chase does have 15, but if you skip out on champion chase entirely and pull all your shards required to get that summon rush 20 fragments, you will be at 100 fragments. You will be short of 5. So that's the best way, or most players who most likely do it. They'll pull their shards during this 10x this weekend, and next weekend during the 2x ancient they'll have nothing to pull, or they'll save whatever they need to pull and not need to worry about that. Despite these 2 methods I just talked about, you still need to complete dungeon, classic. You still need to complete every other thing. So this is just allowing you to skip out on one of the summoning events so you can save your shards, which is the most expensive or scarce resource required to complete Jetni the Giant fragment fusion. So this fusion is running from May 11th to May 29th. So that's a long time for you to do a lot of planning and get this champion eventually. So let me know in the comments if you'll be going for this one, or if you're one of those who have decided that she's not worth the effort. I'm gonna be going for her, because we are playing Pokemon over here, and we'll eventually get all the champions that we can in the game. And of course, if you have enough resources, or if you don't have the time, we'll understand why you can't go for it. But me, I'm totally going for this one, and I hope to get her. What about a third option for those players who want to do summon rush and want to do champion chase, because you have the ancient shards and you still have the sacred shards to complete both? Well, if you do that, then you have the luxury, yes, I said the luxury, of skipping out on some of these crazy dungeon divers 3 or artifact enhancement 3 that comes up after you spent all your resources in the other dungeon divers and artifact enhancements. So dragon tournament starts today right here. You don't have to do it today, you can start tomorrow, because dungeon divers starts tomorrow. So that's also something to take note of. You don't have to start dragon today, because it doesn't have any dungeon divers attached to it. So once dungeon diver starts on Friday, that's when you can go crazy with this dragon. Is there any other place that we need to take note of? This is a very long champion training with 10 fragments over there, so make sure you save your resources for that. It will require a lot of time, running from May 13th all the way to May 18th. That won't be an easy champion training. A lot of energy and a lot of champions to be leveled up during that one. So that's my fusion plan. I said 2, but I think I added 1 more plan for those players who are eager to go for both summon rush and go for champion chase at the same time. They have the luxury of skipping out on maybe some other dungeon divers or artifact enhancement that is kind of gear intensive in terms of silver also. So that's my plan for Jetni. I'm going with the first option, where I'm skipping out on summon rush. I don't care which 10x champion that is part of this summon rush. I don't care how juicy they make it seem. I just feel like you pull your shots and you don't get the champion advertised in the 10x. As a free to play, I always advocate for champion chase, even if it's gonna give me a bunch of duplicates during a 2x, and even if it's gonna give me even if I have a lot of champions saved up already, right? I have a lot of champions saved up for my fusion, so I don't need to pull shards to even complete it. It's gonna be easier, but that's the way I always do it, and I will not fail to do it this way also. I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. There's a bunch of new information coming up in the game in terms of new champions and all that, but we're not going to talk about that until we begin to see them in the game for sure. So make sure you update your game if you're mobile, update your game on PC, and you'll see all these new changes coming into Raid. And of course, the call to arbiter that is going to start on what, the 18th? No, 1 week. One more week. Yes, we still have to wait 1 more week for that to launch into the game. We are waiting for that first premiere. You can go into right here and see the cinematic trailer, where we'll see more information about that when it drops in the game. Later, guys.